know you went and brought them.
Say that again.
Kids see when you are not all right, even when you trying to act like you all right. So even though your taxes hit and you finna buy them some Jordans and shit like that, like them kids know throughout the majority of the year, my mother is having a tough time.
Right.
When you check it out emotionally, there are periods of time, especially for us with our babies, we become emotionally unavailable and we are just a dictator, an authoritarian in the household, just making all the little people follow our rules enough to not get on our, get out my room.
Right.
Now it's my, leave me alone now, shit.
Right.
Trying to do, y'all getting on my nerves, clean up.
Right.
Like they can see, like, to the point where now they walk on eggshells a lot of times just to not do stuff to make mama mad.
Right.
You know, this is not a healthy upbringing. And you will get like this when you one person taking on the responsibility of 2, 3, 4. I wish I fucking might.
You know, love, it's crazy because these types of things are so common. You know, I remember me and my friends, right, growing up, we was comparing notes when we was in school as to what type of whippings we got, what type of trauma we endured, whether we got whippings with a belt, extension cord, you know.
And there's a it's like a science behind that shit, cause you know it's the whoopings where I'm gonna cry a lot so she can stop soon. It's the ones where I didn't cry and then she like, oh, you ain't gonna cry, and beat you harder. It's the ones where she tell you early in the day she gonna whoop you and then you got anxiety all day, and you don't know if she gonna actually do it or come home. Yes, come home tired. It's the my sister got a whooping and so I need to get out the room while she getting a whooping because I just might get a whooping just because I'm in there. She might just figure out something old and pop me with the belt. It's all this shit and a lot of it has to do with we got our ass whooped because the parent was overwhelmed.
We overwhelmed. Wow.
Frustrated, emotionally unstable. That mother deserved her time for herself. And this is why, like, when you take like parenting classes and marriage counseling and, you know, certain therapy sessions in regards to relationships, they explain that the role of a man in regards to a woman when we talk about raising children and things like that is to offer her enough support that she can care for the children in a nurturing, positive, patient way, a feminine manner. There is feminine authority that is so different from, and this is why we need that male-female dynamic. We need breaks.
Yes.
We need time. We need the space to stay in our femininity. And this is why when you see, like on a lot of those podcasts we were talking about with the men, they complain so much about women being masculine and overly aggressive. And then you see the women saying, well, y'all don't give us the room to be feminine. And then they argue about it. But really, all women are trying to communicate is that if we don't have that support, like just in our own, we go rough and tough, and we try to model you guys. We try to imitate what we know is missing. Ain't no daddy here, so y'all ain't finna walk all over me.
They're imitating what they perceive as power.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
In the easiest way that they know it. But what it does unfortunately, is produce more conflict.
Yes,
it takes her, like you said, further out of her femininity so that she eventually loses herself and no longer is able to even come back.
Yes.
Bitterness, brokenness, that level of woundedness. You know, I've seen men, I've seen older women that have been bitter for so long, they damn near men.
Yes.
Because they've been so rough for so long, they don't even know how to get back to femininity. And everything about them has become like a shell.
You preaching.
You know what I mean?
You preaching. And it's programming. It's the same thing I said earlier about conditioning. Repetition of the same behavior will program and affect the mind to believe and be comfortable with certain things. And that's all it is.
That's all
you sat in that role so long that now you can't even get out of it. And that is why when you hear people like me or you talk about this stuff, it's so triggering because they know they can't fix it. They know they don't have the individual tools without help to fix it. And then when you talk about therapy and things like that, they don't want to go because they don't want to be labeled. But they know that there is something wrong because they knowing like this is why you don't want to go.
This is why you don't want to go.
When you know something is straight and somebody is saying do this, you'll go just to show and prove to yourself and to the community and to that person that I'm straight.
Right.
Take me to the communication counseling. Take me to the couples therapy.
Right.
Take me to the. I ain't scared of no rooms of shit with no new information come on, because for me, every bit of anything that's wrong with me, I want to fix it for
Flush
one.
it out.
So I'm never gonna get in there and feel no type of way that you brought me here if I am wrong. And for two, if I genuinely believe I'm doing well or operating the way I'm supposed to,
it'll show.
the fuck I'm scared for.